What's up, AfterBuzzers? We are back again. I'm so glad to be back. I was gone last week, and I'm so sorry for that, but I'm not sorry for this episode called Sorry. See what I did there? Hey! Episode 8. We're almost to the Thanksgiving fall finale. We have a lot of storylines to cover. You won't want to miss any of it, so stay tuned.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, the buzz.
Hey, this is us. Hey, welcome back. Hey, this is us. Welcome back. Kenneth's in the house. Danny's in the house. Harris in the house. Haley's in the house.
Okay, great. I don't have to do the intros now. Danny just did them. What's up, guys? Clearly, we were super excited to be back together again. Sorry we were gone last week.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
It's all right. We held on the fort. We held it down.
And we learned a lot about the word sorry in tonight's episode, clearly. But before we get into it, we're going to introduce everyone on the panel. My name is Candace Cruz, so welcome to our show. And then we got Mr. Danny Royce in the house.
What's good, everybody?
He's got a new episode of
Inside the Black Actor Studio.
Coming this week, right?
Thursday. Check it out.
The OG?
OG, Walter E. Jones, Black Power Rangers. Let's go. I'm going to do it with him. That was always my dream. I'm going to do it. We're going to do everything. Yeah. Stay tuned, guys.
Did you see I saw all that. It was like...
I'm going to talk with their hands.
And the almost birthday girl. Almost birthday girl. She's going to have a photo shoot in her birthday suit.
Hey.
Not the birthday suit you think. Wow. In an actual suit. Yes. I'm super excited. Miss Paris Rose.
Yes.
I hope that doesn't bother you that I just shouted out your photo shoot. Unpopular opinion, all the things. Yeah. And then the other world traveler over here, Miss Haley Grace.
Hey, everybody. I'm already in the live chat, so make sure you're joining us. You're an extension of us. We want to know all of your thoughts, as well as shout out to Ellen, tuning in from Australia. That's awesome.
Yes.
Hey, awesome.
What is it? Good day?
Good day.
Good day.
Good day.
Oh, we did it.
And we did it.
We
And
did it.
Aussie. Anybody know it?
I did it.
Right.
I got you, Joe. I got you. I got your
Thank
back.
you. Enough of that. Guys, tonight's episode was fully loaded with a lot of character arc stories.
Yes.
So we're going to break it down. We've got Kate, Jack, and Toby. We've got Deja, Malik, and Beth. Kevin, Cassidy, and Nicky, and Randall and Rebecca. I'm tired already. So before we jump into each of the topics, what were your all's overall thoughts?
I thought it was a really cute episode. I really liked it. There wasn't too much that happened, but I like these like sweet pivotal moment type things. So yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I was okay with this episode as well. Not a ton happened to us. I kind of almost expected it to be more tear-jerking, but I could definitely feel the moments that they're really building us for something big, and I'm a little nervous because I already know that this was going to be a huge tearjerker coming up. But yeah, overall, I was happy with the episode. I thought it really led us down a good way with these character arcs.
Yeah, me too. I second and third that. No, I really thought it was a great episode. We got to see a lot more from Deja, and that's what I was really excited to see about. But we'll talk about everything later.
I mean, I love last week's episode with Deja and Malik's like relationship building so much. So I was excited for that this episode. And I think Mandy Moore hyped it up so much on her Instagram post, and it's such a pivotal scene, like episode going into the big finale that we kind of needed it to get from like Deja and Malik's full story into like what bomb they're about to drop on us in the next episode, especially. We know with This Is Us style on Thanksgiving, shit's about to go down.
Always. Hit the fan.
Oh, yeah. But let's jump into Kate, Jack, and Toby, because they didn't really have that much. We haven't seen a lot of Kate and Toby and Jack at all in like 3 episodes.
I think they're preparing us for something. I mean, I feel something's coming on the horizon.
This was for sure a breadcrumb. The avocado scene was definitely them just furthering the storyline that Kate and Toby are not okay. And I think this is going to be just another riff in their relationship that's going to end up coming out, because obviously we know that this was going to be a huge moment because Toby wanted to be there when Jack ate his first whole food, and Kate fluffed that one up.
Yes.
I hope Kate doesn't tell him. I don't want Kate to tell.
She can't. It's gonna come out.
It's gonna come
fashion.
out.
She's gonna like yelling at him.
It's gonna come out for sure.
Well, I mean, I think we saw a little bit of what's to come in this relationship with Toby from her past relationship. And it wasn't a lot. It was a very short snippet where we saw
Man.
Creepy Mark.
We're not 12-year-old girls, right?
Yeah,
I was like, what?
First of all, abuse does not have to be any like actual hitting or anything. It can be verbal. It can be like manipulating someone. It can be emotional. It can be like belittling someone, especially at that age. And I know that like a lot of people, majority of people have gone through something like that and just didn't recognize the signs. And I think that really fed into her unhealthy view of relationships.
Yes.
And obviously we don't know the capacity yet, but like they showed that to us for a reason.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's controlling. I'm happy Randall picked up on that.
Randall, Kevin.
Yeah,
they all knew.
Rebecca just not
They've known
seeing it
from the
because
beginning.
she's so happy that Kate's happy. She's not seeing it. So
Yeah, I think she more or less refuses to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, she's excited for Kate because she's happy, and then Kate just doesn't see it because she's never felt like this before, and then now she's gonna associate that with love, and it's gonna be terrible.
I also kind of think that Rebecca obviously has a lot going on internally as well, to where she kind of has blinders up to what her kids are going through right now. And she just is very, for the first time, really, we see a Rebecca that's more self-focused and almost kind of insecure than we really ever have before.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, we'll definitely touch on it a lot with the Randall Rebecca conversation, because I feel like the old flashback and the new flashback really feed into each other a lot. But I don't know about Kate and Toby, though. I really don't think they're going to last.
I don't
Nope.
know.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah. He missed his first rollover, his first sit-up.
Yeah.
Which sucks, though, because Kate doesn't work.
No.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing, but like he's gotta work. Like someone's gotta put the roof over their head. So unfortunately, like you are gonna miss some things, whether that's Kate working or Toby working. Someone's gonna miss something.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
And definitely, we have Obsessed Fangirl and Ellen in our chat right now. Both of them just kind of agree that they don't really enjoy Kate's storyline right now. And they're both also just saying that they're happy that it's small because, again, they just don't really like it and they don't really care about Kate right now.
Yeah.
Which really sucks.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Kate has had such, like, a growth.
Yeah.
And now it just feels like it's kind of stunted.
Just wait for it, guys. Wait for it. It's gonna happen. Kate's
there's going to be
We're
like
gonna
a
be like
big
Kate,
bomb
Kate,
drop.
Toby, Kate, everything. Telling you.
Everything. Well, we drop bombs here on AfterBuzz all the time because we give you all the coverage of all your favorite shows. See, you like my pivot? Yes, we do. It's fun. Clarice, you want to take it away? Tell us all about it.
Fun.
I love it every time. Yeah, but before we move on to the next topic, we do want to thank you for making us the ESPN of TV talk, but we do need your help, you guys.
Yeah.
So if you are watching on YouTube, remember to subscribe and give us that thumbs up button. Thank you for commenting and tuning in with us and engaging. We love it. Also, if you're listening on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating. Because we deserve it and you love us. You come back every week. Tell your friends about us. But if you're not watching This Is Us and somehow just stumbled upon this channel, we have a lot more shows to offer, like so many dramas, comedies, all of it, all of the above, soap operas. For those of us who like soap operas. Yes.
Christmas channel.
Stop it.
Yeah.
When did we get this?
Oh, yeah.
This is first.
That was last week. That was last week, yeah.
Christmas
She's like, wait,
all
why
year
did you not know
long.
this? I'm
Christmas
like, oh my God.
247.
All year long.
Oh, yeah.
I started
thanks for
listening to
making
music
us,
already.
the ESPN of TV talk and being a part of our family.
Thanks, man.
The This Is Us family.
This is us. This is all us.
Because you guys are amazing in this live chat and like the comments every week and everybody hitting up in the DMs, all the things.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Love you guys.
Seriously. Well, you know who I also love is Deja and Malik.
Yes.
They're so stinking cute.
Deja and Malik.
I feel like this is going to be like a Beth and Randall situation.
Yes, no, this is one of my favorite storylines.
They're so
now.
cute.
Right.
I like how Malik like literally bethed Beth. So
Right.
he gave her a breath talk.
Right.
And then also in those moments when he was standing up for Deja and talking about, again, just how smart and special she is, I was like, that's also kind of giving me Randall vibes.
Yeah.
I like what they're doing here. I like it a lot.
I think I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Ladies first.
I think it's interesting that they are focusing on Deja in general because she is kind of the newest member to the Pearson squad other than Baby Jack. And I mean, before Annie gets a story or Tess really gets a story, we're diving into Deja, which I do love. But I think it's interesting that the writers chose to focus on her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just when originally Beth thought, when Malik and Deja, how he was pushing her to do obviously something bad.
Yeah.
And so I just loved when he dropped it on her. It was like, no, she wants to see her mom. And really having that conversation like, okay, you guys had time to do all these things, but never really like, respected Deja enough to go see that. So I loved how it was a moment of self-reflection for
sure.
Beth. And now Randall's going to get that after this whole thing.
And honestly, I think she needed to hear it from someone outside of Deja.
Yeah.
Because even if Deja said like, hey, I want to see my mom, like, it would have been pushed over again, and not in a bad way, but it's one of those things where you don't realize the heaviness of like how much someone wants something until someone else says it.
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So
And they are protecting, trying to protect Deja
family
from
unit.
from returning back to that same way as like Malik. They're trying to protect her from him and going backwards. But at the end of the day, it's like she's becoming her own woman, and you have to let her. I don't know what's going on.
Sorry guys, there's random music playing in our headphones. I don't know if you heard it.
I don't know either. But
Deja.
yes,
So anyway,
Deja.
okay, yeah.
I will say how you mentioned that Deja is being that they're trying to protect Deja.
yeah.
I almost think they're trying to protect themselves.
Yeah, that's
because Beth has never really been fond of Deja wanting to be around her mom or returning back to everything that's hurt her. So in a sense, she's protecting Deja, yes, but I think she's also more so protecting herself. And I think that's why she's never actually. She's heard Deja when she says she wants to see her mom, but she's never actually listened.
Not listening.
And also there's that fear of like wanting to leave and go back to
Exactly.
your actual parent.
Right.
Like they fall in love
protecting
with
the
her.
union.
You know,
The
they don't
family
want to
unit.
lose her.
Oh,
Right.
and I have a good point from Ellen in the Obsessed Fangirl in the live chat says, I feel like this is going to have effects for Annie in the future. Neither of her parents really pay much attention to her, kind of like the Keven of the group.
Oh, yeah. Very
Yeah.
true.
Because I was going to bounce off what you had said about the
Yeah.
other two and the fact that we kind of got touched on Tessa's storyline and then we've just never gone back to it.
Right.
Exactly.
So,
And honestly, Annie is like the wise person of the whole family. Like
really
even
is,
last
yeah.
episode, she was like, "Isn't it weird that you have a baby?"
so
Of
you're
course.
so like Deja's going to be like a stepmom.
Oh no. Also, can we just talk about Beth's awkward mom moment of like,
Oh, the popcorn.
with popcorn?
That was so. That was
You
the
gotta be
most.
faster.
That was very Randall.
That was the
so
most.
cheesy of her. So,
Right.
So
very Randall.
awkward of
Yeah.
her, where
She-
she's like, "I don't know what to do. I'm going to try and make a joke."
Yeah.
I took it as like, boy, you better know better. Like, I'm like, that's what.
Like she was like, I'm still going to be here.
Right.
But I might not be, but I'm still going to be here.
I'm still here. You have 30 seconds of unsupervised
Yes.
parental moment. Go.
Go.
Use it wisely. Oh, it's not
Very
30 seconds
cute.
either.
He's like, oh, you better get on out of here.
You need
I think she
30
was
seconds.
watching.
She ran off. I was
I'm
like,
like, that's
cute.
just
And
ridiculous.
also, it was such a sweet little kiss.
I
It
know.
was a little peck.
That was
a
the
little, like-
littlest peck ever.
Yeah.
I was like, you got 30 seconds. Use
Like,
those
use
30
those-
seconds.
That's what I was saying.
You know
I was
what I'm
like,
saying?
you have 30 seconds. You better use them wisely. Use them
Right.
wisely. You're in high school, okay?
Right,
Let's go.
your man just stood up for you to your mom. Come on now.
He sure did.
Oh, I love it so much. Well, that part, I'm so excited to watch that like blossom.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving's
Deja invited her mom to Thanksgiving,
Yes.
which is
I
big.
know.
Wait, is Malik coming to Thanksgiving?
We don't know yet.
Oh,
We don't know.
We just have like a whole just collision course. Just
Yeah.
everyone's coming to Thanksgiving.
Oh, we need to leave some time for predictions because it's
Yeah.
gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's move on to Kevin, Cassidy, and Nicky. So there's obviously been the elephant in the room.
I love this story.
I just want to
I love
say
Nikki.
that I think now, after last week, me and Paris are kind of right.
Oh, yeah.
God.
I didn't want to say
I just
it.
Well,
had
no.
a coaster at
No,
you.
because we didn't.
Threw a
This is-
coaster at
We don't
you.
know
This
if he's
is
gonna return
this
back
is-
to this whole thing.
This is what that Paris and I have been saying this whole time,
Yes.
because they're both very remorseful, and that we know Cassidy's not in game, which it's obvious after this episode. Well,
Yeah.
at least it's obvious to this point. So we're just
To
gonna
this
take,
point,
we're just
right.
gonna take this one
We'll give
because
it-
you two took it a couple weeks ago. So me
You
and
guys
Paris.
get the L. I don't know which is backwards for here, but the L, okay?
Candace is not
I-
happy with us right now.
I still don't think he's returning to any lovers in the past, okay? So I think after this is it.
Yes.
This is it.
All right.
We're moving forward. He's gonna have a baby with someone new. I hope they bring.
Well,
someone
clearly
new.
it's someone that we have seen from
Someone we
first
saw in the
episode.
first episode.
So
What
we need to
other-
go back.
She is
What
holding
other females? Like what other woman was in that? The first episode.
Maybe like a
Let's
woman
say
that
it.
like walked past.
Right.
Anyone in the
like a
live
computer
chat, let me know
Right.
what other women outside of the actual related Pearson women were in the first episode that could possibly be Keven baby mama.
And not
Hit me up.
Lucy, because that would be strange.
And now who?
Lucy, older Jack's girlfriend, wife.
Oh no.
yeah, no,
Oh no.
No.
That's just, and also time warp. She would have been like what, elementary school? Not even. Oh my
let's go
God,
down that
that's weird. Okay.
All right.
But either way, Kevin and Cassidy clearly had relations.
Yes.
Which has left the elephant in the room, and now Nicky's kind of figured it out. But I thought it was interesting the way that they did the juxtaposition between Nicky and Jack throughout the whole episode for Kevin.
Oh, I loved
Yes,
it.
I
I got
love that.
chills every single
Yeah,
time.
I love that.
Also, one thing that I also loved, wow, I like the word also,
Also.
is that when Cassidy was telling us more about herself,
Yes,
which,
I like that.
okay, I have to admit, part of me doesn't think that this is the last time we see her because they're still developing her and we learned more about her in this episode, but I found it really interesting that not just do they have AA in common, but they also are chasing after their fathers and kind of like their fathers' legacies, who their fathers were, because we learned that's why she got involved in the military and that's why she kept enlisting. And then same thing with Kevin, he's always been chasing after Jack.
Yes.
Right.
And kind of that void. So I thought that was really cool the way they told both of their stories there.
Is that
Yeah.
the first time that we've heard about her dad being dead, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Serving,
Yeah.
and serving.
And serving both.
Yeah, and I also loved how, just to add to that, how Cassie was telling him about how, she destroyed the marriage, and it was long before he even came in,
Yep.
and, because of the chasing her father. But I loved how they have so much in common, and I don't think this is the last we're going to see of Cassie.
No.
Yeah.
But I'll save it for prediction.
Yeah.
I also think I'll save a little bit for predictions, but just because she went to have dinner with them does not mean that things get resolved.
No.
No, for sure not. For
Like,
sure.
I will
She's
say,
like-
I'm just saying, like, just because they went to have
Candace,
dinner.
like, let me make sure.
Let me make clear, she brought the divorce papers with her in the diner. Who's
Yeah.
to say that she doesn't serve him with them after dinner?
Right.
Yeah.
And
Very
realize that
possible.
it's still not reconcilable. So we'll see. But Nicky obviously had his hearing.
Hearing,
Yes.
yes.
Which I loved his little speech because
Oh,
the
it was
the
so
previews
good.
did not do it justice when
No.
he said he had no remorse. I was like, oh no,
No.
don't do this to me.
Griffin Dunn did a amazing
Yes.
job
So
in that.
good.
I felt every word that he said. That was the moment that I started to tear up. I got goosebumps. It was beautifully written, beautifully said
Yes.
from everything about, they teased us and saying, are you remorseful or whatever for what you did? And when he says no, it's like, oh, hell.
Yeah, here we go.
But
Then when he goes on, it was so good.
it was so beautiful. And then a shout out to my friend Gloria Calderon. They nailed the judge.
Yeah, she
Great
did.
job
Yeah.
out there. But yeah, I just love that whole speech, and you could like relate to parts of it, and just how he's trying to find himself, and but also when Kevin leaves, right? He gets into this fight at the bar, like purposefully, because he knew exactly what was going on.
He just wanted a punishment.
Yeah, like
he
what?
went to,
Like
like,
A
really?
little pity party.
Yeah.
Little pity party. Like, what, let me just go to the bar and get a fight. Like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Although he was right about that fight.
Well, I
that
also
guy was a
think-
jerk.
Then when
very
I was
true.
for sure, but I mean, at least like throw some hands first,
Right,
you know?
yeah.
I also feel like some people do want to have their penance whenever they do something wrong. So he kind of felt like he was guilty
needed
for
to get
something,
the
so
beat.
he needed to get punished.
Yes.
That's so weird.
Yeah,
Like,
it is weird,
punish
but
me,
I know
please.
a lot of people that
Yeah.
are like that,
Yeah.
that are legitimately like, okay, I did something
interesting.
wrong, like slap me on the hand, do
Right.
something.
Yeah.
He can't drink, so he can't drink himself into oblivion. Like, I need to feel the pain.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, hit me.
Yeah.
Someone hit me.
Someone
Do
hit me.
something.
It's weird that he went to a bar though. I was like, why would you tempt yourself
Right.
like that? It's
He
great
did
that
good,
He changed his
though.
mind. He was
Yeah.
like,
I
I
think
think
it
he was
was
going to.
intentional.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
He was going
Yeah.
to drink, and then he was like, maybe just getting punched would be better.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, I'd rather get punched than go back down the dark
Yeah.
hole of alcoholism. So that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm
Wrecking
interested. Yeah, he's
That
a
was
wrecking
rough.
ball.
Yeah,
That was
no,
rough.
I think it was important for Cassidy to verbalize that he's not the one who hurt their marriage or ultimately ended it, because he obviously has that mentality that everywhere he goes he ruins things. And so for her, I think it was really important for her to say that to him in that moment.
Yeah, and especially with going off of that, Nicky saying the exact same thing that he was feeling in the speech.
Yeah.
I think that was very pointed at Keven as well.
Right.
And that they are very much like built from the same cloth.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Like so much. And I think that's also why we see a lot of like Jack and Nicky for Keven.
Yeah.
Is that he's realizing how similar they are.
Right.
That like Nicky does have elements of Jack that obviously fed into Keven. And they're not necessarily the superhero Jack moments.
Yeah.
They're like the human moments.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think it was necessary, though, for Keven also to hear that he's not just this wrecking ball, because it was nice to hear that Cassidy basically said Keven saved her, and Nicky was basically saying the same thing, too, and I think it was nice. This is what Keven wanted to do. He wanted to help people, and I think he thought he wasn't helping them.
Right.
And so it was really nice to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely helps people. He's just not perfect. He has to get over the fact that he's not perfect. He's going to make mistakes, and you're going to mess some stuff up. But in the grand scheme of things, great heart.
Yeah, and Ellen in the chat, she agrees, and she also points out the fact that she was really impressed with Nicky in the courtroom, and she's happy that this is this storyline and this arc for him is giving him more substance than just being Jack's brother.
Yeah.
Because when we're introduced to him, that's all we knew him as is, this is Jack's brother, this is them in the war together, et cetera, et cetera. But now he's really taking on a character of his own and going to establish himself in This Is Us.
Yeah. And we obviously have some predictions for next week.
Okay.
But our last bit, R&R.
R&R.
I need some R&R, guys. Like
So
real
cheesy.
R&R.
Randall and Rebecca.
It was so
It was
cute.
cute.
It's very cute. It's very cheesy in the Randall
Beth
sense.
was
So
like,
it's
I
always
got it.
Yeah.
I get
I need
it.
some
I
R&R.
understand.
You know, Randall and Rebecca. I got it. I got it. Yeah. Do we want to talk about young Randall and Rebecca first?
Yeah.
I think he is like the ideal son.
Right.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like helping Rebecca get that job, doing the kind of pity party to get her. I mean, it's right. Like she's been through so much, and she wasn't her best self. So for Randall to say like she's better than this was just so beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'll help her learn anything she
Yeah.
has to. Like, that was amazing.
Also, when is he going to do that? Because he clearly didn't say that that's what he was going to
Exactly.
do to her. So I was literally thinking, like, okay,
What's he
at
gonna
least
tell
tell her, like, hey, I also told him that you would learn this by Monday, so we got to get to work. Let's go.
Yeah.
And what software programming are they talking about?
Right.
Like, every job
like,
I know of has new software programming. So what job has, like,
Excel, maybe she doesn't know how to use.
maybe? I don't know. I was very confused. I was like,
PowerPoint.
I mean, he is 1994, 1995-ish,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, computers weren't that old.
Maybe it was just computers in general.
Yeah,
You know,
they weren't
kinda
that
new-
old
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, that's true. Because I mean, they didn't really have a lot of computers when she wasn't working all this time when Jack
Exactly.
was working. But I mean, we saw a lot of their like ebbs and flows of the two of them in the younger versions, but that obviously fed into the older versions of what we're seeing now. That is obviously major foreshadowing of everything. And honestly, though, like the only sign that gave me like the inkling that Randall's getting, because he started looking suspicious the entire episode.
Yeah, it was too early.
It was way too early for me. Like the only time that I was like, oh, red flag is when she lost her phone and she started getting defensive.
Right.
That's when I was like, okay. Like,
But you have to remember that this is very recent to the episode of when Jack was being born. So we're not that far along from when it was in the waiting room scene when we saw her writing everything down.
Yes.
Her clearly not being
That's
okay.
true.
Right.
And I think like for me, I picked up more on it with the phone.
Yeah,
and
I did too.
not losing it, but the fact that
On
she
it.
wasn't just taking pictures of things to take pictures. She was taking pictures, documenting
everything.
the entire
Everything.
room. So it's almost like that's her new list.
Yeah.
Because that's how she's remembering things is by having those photos.
Right.
yeah.
So I
It's
thought
like
that
a life support.
yeah. So,
for her.
but what kind of threw me off was just how uncomfortable it was them in that room, because we've never really seen an angry Rebecca. You know, we've seen a sassy Rebecca putting her kids in their place, but we've never seen an angry, defensive Rebecca. So that was hard to watch. But then also just the two of them being at odds was uncomfortable.
It was
to
very
me.
uncomfortable.
And it like made me sad because it did, kudos to the writers, it made me want to know more, like what's happened over these 20 years that jab came off so cruel to Rebecca.
I think it was kind of cruel because he was starting to say, "Oh, it's so crazy that you're saying you're the mother, I'm the son," and then he stopped, basically implying that all these years I've been
taking care of her.
which is kind of cruel to say.
It is.
It's a little jab.
It is.
Like, I mean, as much as you feel that, because like sometimes you have that animosity of like, I mean, I did help out a lot, but also like, she was doing just as much for him, so that's not fair. Yeah. But the thing that I think a lot of people forget about like dementia and Alzheimer's is that emotions do start running wild because you don't know how to control them and you start losing filters. So like anger, sadness, all those just like come on abruptly and you don't really know how to deal with the levels of it. So we're definitely in for a wild ride with Rebecca.
Good This Is Us fashion.
And honestly, I mean, kudos to Mandy Moore because she's going to have to stretch her acting legs a lot this season moving into that element. Like, we obviously saw a huge performance for her last season when Jack died.
Right.
But was that last season or the season before? Oh my gosh, we're in season 4.
Oh my God,
I know.
we're in season 4.
Might have been season 2. But I think it was season 2.
It was.
But either way, like, this is going to be the next big acting
Moment for
job
her.
for her, you know?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I didn't like that scene.
Very uncomfortable.
Taking over.
It can't always be perfect though, so
True.
I like that.
Exactly.
But I think it almost like did its job.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
I felt uncomfortable in the sense that I felt like I was intruding on
Yeah.
a very personal scene for the two of them, and that just goes to show the excellence of both Randall and Rebecca, because like to make us feel that uncomfortable like through the scene, you know what I mean? Like just watching it, that's powerful.
Right. Yeah, I didn't like it in the sense of their characters, and I just love both of their characters when they get along. They're amazing, but I understand that it has to happen, and I'm glad we saw it, especially between them two. And I, like you said, Rebecca coming up with that disease and really just it taking over. I'm waiting to see her just lash out on other people. Like, I know it's gonna happen to Miguel, and like
probably Kate
and
too.
maybe
Kate,
and like
for sure.
Thanksgiving. I'll save it for tradition, but
And honestly, I think if we remember the foreshadowing episode, Randall is the one that was like basically leading all this.
Right.
So I think that he's really going to step up and like take care of her a lot. But I just really hope that they do it justice and like really show all the craziness and like how much it really does affect like the family and like the person, because it's terrifying.
It's rough.
Yeah.
It's terrifying for the person and for the family. So it's going to be an interesting wild ride, but that leads us into our special segment.
Hey.
Our lovely tissue moments for This Is Us.
I love it every time.
Wait, can we really hear it? Let's hear it. Let's hear the cry. There we go. There's the cry. So for all of you guys...
It's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, that was pretty good. He's an actor, y'all.
Hey.
But for those of you guys joining us for the first time, our Tearjerker moments for This Is Us is rated from 1 to 5. 1 being that was really sweet. 5 being like, oh my God. So, who wants to take it first?
We can start over here. I'll go.
Pass it.
All right. So I'm gonna go with not the obvious. So I'm gonna pull two tissues. Because for me it was when young Randall stood up for Rebecca in her job interview, because again they end up kind of telling us and Rebecca verbalizes it, but in that moment I was like, this is a Jack moment. And even though we're not seeing Jack as much this season, it was still, there's pieces of him, and that was a really special one to me, that Randall's characteristics were very Jack-like, and it gave me all the warm fuzzies, and I had goosebumps when he was doing it, because it was so sweet, and just every word he said was what made it special, and the way he said them, because these are all the ways he does see his mother. And I think a lot of times for everyone, your mother protects herself and doesn't really show through all the way. And so just to be able to say that and kind of acknowledge it, it was a great moment. So that's my 2.
Ooh. Alrighty. I'm also gonna do 2.
I'm determined to get you to 5 this season.
Oh my God, I would love to. I want a good cry.
Right.
But anyway,
Good cries for everyone.
I don't think mine's the Office one either. It is with Cassidy, actually. I liked her end speech to
Yes.
Keven. Just validating all the hard work he's put in to help people. And I just I was happy that she walked in and they invited her to sit down. It was a cute little, it seemed like a good Christmas movie moment.
Right,
That the family was like,
yeah.
sit, we're a family.
We needed the snowfall. That's all we need.
So yeah, that's my moment.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take 2. It was warm. It was really warm. Feeling I related a lot. So this is when Rebecca and Randall had their fallout. I just seeing their characters grow and how close they are together, and never really seeing them disagree with anything, as to that extent, and just having that hostility. It brought back, because I'm a mama's boy, proud mama's boy, and we never fight, but there was one time where we just had a falling out, and I can imagine, and I just felt the tension between us, and it just felt so, like you said, uncomfortable. Mothers are like gods in the eyes of a child, and so seeing this scene, I automatically fell into Randall's spot, and I was just that
Took
hit
you
home. It hit home.
So mine is going to be a shared 3. I have 2. So the first one is
3.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Would you rather be 2.5?
Go ahead. No.
Okay, all right. Are you sure?
I'll give you 2 more.
No. That's your 2, my 3. Okay, so mine was either the Nicky speech when it was at the courthouse.
Yes.
I just felt that to my core, and it was so good. And like I feel like we really see Nicky now.
Yeah.
Because he's put so many like layers on that we haven't been able to really see him, or we've had our own predispositioned idea of him, and now we're really getting to see him. And then the second is obviously foreshadowing into the next episode. This storyline's going to hit really close to home for me. So to see the like early signs that Rebecca's dealing with, and the interaction between the two of them in the office, more so than the actual argument, was really like you could see the hurt and the fear on Randall's face. So, I mean, especially going back to the mama's boy type of situation, nobody knows their mom better than her own children, and they don't even have to say a word, and you just know something's different.
Yep.
So to see that was just like really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So those are my 3. They're joint, so is it okay to have 3?
Sure.
Those are good.
Do whatever you want, Candace.
Throw a coaster at you, throw tissues at you. Just kidding.
You're doing okay.
All right. So we have some news and gossip before we go on to our prediction.
Very, very, very quick news.
Yes.
But Mandy Moore will be going on tour, which is big for her.
What?
She hasn't been on tour in 20 years.
Damn.
In 20 years, yes. And she also has 2 new songs out. I do not remember what they're called, but go to Mandy Moore's
She's
Instagram.
only 35.
I know, which seems
amazing.
crazy.
I mean, she started
the last time she was
young.
on tour was with Backstreet Boys.
Right.
When she was 15, she only did one tour.
Wow.
She only did one tour.
And she never had a headlining tour.
Never had a headlining. So this is a big deal for Mandy
That's
Moore.
dope.
Yeah.
That's
And
dope.
honestly, to
That's
have that
so
much
cool.
notoriety as a singer and an actress and never go on another tour until now,
Yeah.
That's
I thought she had. I thought she'd had her
Yeah.
own
So did
headlining
I.
tour.
All I'm saying is it better not interrupt This Is Us.
That's true.
Oh no, of course not.
Also, her music is very different than what it used to be.
Yeah.
Whenever we,
Yes,
not
yes.
the poppy.
I mean,
No,
it's
it's
not
not.
the Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera,
Right.
but you know, it's I
It's
love the way
very
it's
like singer-songwriter vibey this
Singer-songwriter
time now,
yeah.
rather than like the.
Well, she has
I
been
Love
writing a
Candy.
few of her songs. She has 2 new songs, and she wrote them both.
And her husband is also a guitarist.
Yeah.
And a
Oh, I
performer,
wonder-
and he also collaborated with her on this album as well.
Man.
Really? Oh, I did
Just
not
for
know
a
that.
quick reminder of what Mandy Moore's songs used to sound like.
Oh, we're gonna get a reminder of.
This was so good.
Can't you hear me calling? Begging
Also, to have these pipes at 15, impressive.
I know.
Okay.
I loved her
And a
then.
random, guys, I don't know if you all knew this, but a UPS man is actually how she got discovered.
Did
you guys know
I
this?
don't think I know.
I think you might have told me.
She did a full, like, you guys go to her
think
Instagram,
you
you can
did
find
tell
this
me
out,
last
where
week.
you can, like, she has a full rundown of, like, how she was discovered, is that a UPS man came and, like, saw her and was like, hey, I know a record label guy in LA, like, do you have anything? And they put it on, and this could have been a skeezy, like, crazy guy, guy, but he sent it off and they actually liked her. And then, like, next thing you know,
Wow.
she had a record label and was on tour with Backstreet Boys. So,
You
like,
never know.
that
Never
UPS man
Yep.
could make you famous, guys.
Be
You
nice to
never
your
know.
UPS
Yeah,
man.
like, be nice to everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
You never
You
know.
never know. But that leads us into our predictions because you never know.
You never know.
Never know.
I don't want to start. I need to think.
I need to digest.
I need to digest.
Predictions.
Well,
Go ahead,
for
Candace.
me,
Want me to start?
Okay.
Yeah,
I can.
you know,
I got
go,
one. I got
go,
one.
go,
I got
go.
one. Sorry. I don't need the tissue. I do this
every
every
No,
every time. Okay. Just a really quick prediction. I feel like Deja actually might want to go home with her mom.
no.
I think
Oh.
I think it's possible. But that's all I have. But I just feel like everyone thinks something crazy and bad's gonna happen with this Thanksgiving. But I think something good might happen, that she might reconnect with her mom and see that she's doing better and feel like, okay, I can go home.
I don't think that her
I don't
mom's
think
going to be that
yeah.
better, but that's okay.
Because
I'm hoping not, because I love the story.
Adopted.
Oh, true.
Oh, yeah, she's adopted.
Oh,
so
she's
she
adopted.
gets-
She's
That's
legally
womp,
adopted.
womp,
Yeah.
womp.
But she might want her to be like in her life a little bit, you know,
Yeah.
just come visit.
Which
her.
also, I don't know if Randall and Beth are going to go for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I could see her like maybe being a situation that she maybe even asked them for her mom to move in.
Oy.
Oh.
That thing on
I would put my foot down on that one.
Yeah,
I'm
Beth
so
ain't gonna
sorry.
have that
I would
one.
not be able to do that
Yeah.
one. We can go visit her
Right.
once a week, but she's not moving in.
I'm just
Do
saying.
we
We
you
know
what
where her
hap-
mom lives.
Not
back,
close.
I mean, back where they were. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh?
Philly.
They-
Philly?
No,
They're in Philly
now.
Oh, they were in Pittsburgh. Or
Yeah, I
she
think
lives in
so.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so
not that far.
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
mine.
Haley?
I'm staying strong and true with my prediction still.
Cassidy is a baby mama?
Cassidy and
Cassidy.
Randall, Cassidy and Kevin, I did that last week also, are not never a thing.
Never.
But for me,
Denial.
my biggest thing is mostly that because Kevin like dropped like he was going back to LA, which when he said that I was like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, that's kind of sad to think about. I think he's gonna have more of a revelation that he's actually meant to be in this town, and I think he's gonna actually find his home with Cassidy as a friend. And with Nicky, and
As a friend?
yes, in their situation. So I think that's kind of Kevin's future.
And Cassidy did kind of foreshadow that of like
Yes.
the Marine Corps and the community
Friendship.
and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also kind of want Kevin to go to LA and take Nicky with him because I feel like Nicky would just be enamored with all the bright lights and also terrified of all the bright lights. So,
Yes.
but mine would be the Randall Rebecca going into that because they showed a moment where she like got lost in the street. So I think that's going to unfold on Thanksgiving Day, and then they're going to have to go and try and find her. And people are going to be panicking because it's just gonna be a big deal on Thanksgiving
Yeah.
because we've got Jack and Toby, Kate and Toby coming, and clearly things are not going 100% in their household. They're coming and flying out with the baby. The baby's blind, like. Not everybody has been interacting with him a lot, so there's just going to be a lot of noise, and it's going to scare him, and then there's going to be an argument that's going to ensue. Deja and Malik, hopefully Malik will be at Thanksgiving.
I know, I hope so too.
I really hope so,
Right.
but then that means the baby's coming along, and
Which
that's
also
gonna
means that then Deja's mother, Shauna,
is going to
will
see
meet
this
Malik.
too,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's going to have a perspective, and like her parenting is going to try and come into play, and then Beth and Randall are going to try and like Trump because it's parenting. Then they got Rebecca wandering off, and
She's
then
not a lot
Kevin's
about
coming with
this.
Nicky, and Nicky's not going to know what to do because we see a flashback with Nicky and Jack. There's a lot.
You just
Danny, anything?
You just took all my predictions, so there we go. That literally, I mean,
Who's word vomit? I'm sorry.
Malik
Go
is
ahead.
coming. Malik is coming.
Malik is coming.
He's coming to Thanksgiving.
Also, do you guys remember
think-
going to Thanksgiving with your little high school booze?
Never.
No.
Sometimes I spent holidays with them. What's
Wow,
even crazier
Christmas.
is our Ellen, who's been in the chat from Australia, said that it's fascinating hearing us talk about Thanksgiving because
yeah.
they don't have Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then also Obsessed Fangirl is from Canada, who said that they celebrate kind of their Thanksgiving in October.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's
October
really interesting.
8th, I believe.
I don't
Canada
know.
Day.
I've never heard of that.
Canada. Oh, okay.
Oh, Canada Day is
Thanksgiving.
like Thanksgiving? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Thanksgiving is every day for me. But no, one other thing I wanted to say is that I do believe Rebecca. I think. Why am I blanking on? Randall is going to let the cat out of the bag and tell all the siblings what's going down, and that's just going to mess up stuff even more.
But he needs to tell them.
He does.
He can't
Of
do this on his own either.
No.
Agreed.
And also, she's in LA.
But she's gonna be upset.
Well, you know what? She can be. They can take care of her. It's fine. But guys, be prepared for next week. Have your tissues ready because I guarantee it's going to be a crazy episode. And we'll be here for every single minute of it. Thank you for joining us every week. My name's Candace Cruz. You can find me on all my social media at Candace R. Cruz.
And you can find me everywhere. And I am Daniel Royce. Also tune in this Thursday, episode 2 of season 2, Inside the Black Actor Studio. We'll see you there.
And I am Paris Rose. You can find me on Instagram at Paris Rose. Paris with 2 R's.
And you can find me on Twitter at Haley1Graves2 and on Instagram at Haley Graves with 2 S's. That's HALEYGRAVESS.
I love that we're doing a little dance for your name, Haley. All right, guys, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.